Hey guys, welcome to Truth Guitar Method. My name is Joel. You can call me Joel, son of Cesar. And yes, absolutely, yes, my dad's name really is Cesar. Today's not a lesson. Today's not a midweek review. Today's not a bonus video. And today is not a backing track day. Today, we're talking about music notation and tablature. Which one's better? Tabs? Music notation? Some people believe that music notation is the very, very best. And if you read tablature, you're the devil. Some people believe you should read tablature. And if you read music, then you're a pompous person who thinks very highly of themselves. And then there's me. What do I think? I'm going to tell you what I think right now. But before we move on, make sure that you hit subscribe. Hit the little bell, bing, so you're notified of when my videos come out, and you won't miss a spot, you won't miss anything for your guitar journey. And then like this video, and then go watch my other videos, and share this channel. If you're beginner, intermediate, advanced, this channel's for you. Now, let's get to the video. Notation or tabs? Which one's better? Here we go. Okay, so to be completely honest, music notation has its pros and tablature has its pros. But if they're by themselves, it has its cons. Let me tell you what I mean. When I was growing up, I was playing guitar and I would learn everything by ear. And then I'd find tabs. I don't remember how I would find tabs, but I'd find tabs or like a chord progression and go from there. And it would help me. And then I decided I wanted to study music. And I had to learn how to read music at a very late age. And it was a must. And I learned how to read music. So I'm able to do both. Am I super good at both of them? No. But I know my way around it, and I know how to use it, and I know how to use it for my benefit, and that's why I'm going to share this. So if you are reading music notation, you basically have this. And music notation's got 5 lines, and it's got 4 spaces. The 5 lines do not represent the strings of the beautiful and wonderful guitar. Instead, they're kind of a map. And this map, the notes on the staff lines or the staff spaces, they tell you what note you need to play. Now, unfortunately, the older the music is, the less efficient. Because when they would write out music for guitar, sometimes there was no way of knowing what fingers you had to use. You kind of just had to guess. And so if you have one of these pieces, the best thing to do is find your highest note. And when you find your highest note, then you know, okay, this is my position. This is as far as I'm going to come on the guitar. And then you find your lowest note. And then you know this is the lowest part, so this must be played around this area. But nowadays, music notation comes with something super amazing. So the notes are there, right? And we have a quarter note, a half note, a whole note, and we have eighth notes as well. Now, all these symbols mean something. Learning these symbols are super important because when you get your music, you know the length and the pitch of every single note that you're going to play. So here are the lines, right? The lines on the staff are E, G, B, D, and F. Every good boy does fine. And then there are the spaces. And the spaces basically spell out the word face. The first space being the bottom one, F, A, the second one, C, the third one, and then E, the last one. So all these things about music notation are super important because you want to know what you're playing. You want to know the notes that you need to, that are being sounded out as you play. The only problem is it's not always 100% accurate with the timbre of what you are playing. Here's what I mean. So on guitar, there's way more than one note. We know that already. So here's the deal. I'll give you an example. The first string, when I play it, I have an E. But that E that you hear is also this E. And it sounds different. Yes, they have the same pitch, but not the same timbre. And it's also this one. Each one is a little bit different. And then there's also this one. Whoops. Right there. Sorry, that was an F. All these notes are the same E. I think I'm a little out of tune. Anyway, they're all the same E. So how do you find which one you're supposed to do? Well, in music notation, there's something wonderful. Okay, in music notation, above each note, if the creator of that piece wanted to let you know, then they added a little number above the note. That little number above the note tells you that kind of a suggestion. It's going to either say a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4. Meaning if it has a 1, use your first finger to play that note. If it has a 2, use your second finger. 3 and 4. Now, by looking at it, it doesn't look like such a big deal. But it is. Because if I'm using the first finger, then more than likely I'm in the 5th position. That means all this area. Because of that first finger, which means there's notes here, here, here. 5th position. If I'm using the second finger, then I'm in position 4 more than likely. If I'm using the third finger, I'm probably in position 3. And if I'm using the 4th finger, I'm probably in position 4. So the numbers matter. But how do you find the spot on the guitar? That's the part that music notation sucks at. Because it does not tell you. As a musician, after you kind of unlock the fretboard, then you find the best economical place to play it so your hand doesn't get so tired and you get what you get. But that's more for people who are majoring in guitar, I think. And people who like doing that sort of stuff. And I'm assuming most of you just want to jam. Right? So let's go to tabs. So the difference between music notation and tabs, well, look what it looks like. This is tablature. Tablature has 6 lines, not 5. And in tablature, spaces don't matter. In tablature, the bottom line is actually number 6, and the top line is number 1. Meaning that the bottom line represents string 6 on the beautiful and wonderful guitar. And the top line represents string 1. So you can find your way around it. Now in tablature, you'll have musical notes, but not in the form of quarter notes, half notes, eighth notes, or rests, or anything like that. This is the part that tabs suck at. Because in order to read tabs, you kind of have to go into tabs already knowing what the song sounds like, what pitches kind of go where. You don't need to know the name of the pitches. You just need to know kind of sort of how it goes. That way you don't get lost when you're doing the tablature. Now in tablature, you're going to see a lot of numbers. No music notation, just numbers. Mostly the numbers 0 to the number 24. Now that's on a standard 6-string guitar. If you have an extended range guitar, like more frets or more strings, then it's a little bit different. But I'm focusing on the standard 6-string guitar. So you'll have a number between 1 and 26. So take, for example, the first measure. Okay, the first measure has a 0, a 1, and a 3. Right? Those are the first 3 that you see. 0, 1, 3. So what's that? What it's telling me is that on the 6th string, I need to play a 0, I need to play a 1, and I need to play a 3, 3rd fret. The numbers represent the fret that you're supposed to press. But here's another reason tablature sucks. That it doesn't tell you what fingers to use. It doesn't tell you the length of each of those notes. Like a 0 could be 0, whole note. A 0 could be 0, 8th note. It doesn't tell you. This is the part that tablature sucks at as well. So you kind of have to know how the song goes. So say, for example, the song went like this. Then we probably have 3 quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, right? But you have to know that beforehand. So what I'm trying to say is tablature has good stuff because you can find your spot super fast. The exact note you're supposed to play in the exact spot that you're supposed to play it. And then music notation is awesome because it tells you what the name of the note is, and then the little number above the music note tells you what finger you're supposed to use. But then both of them have something that kind of sucks. So what's the verdict? Let me show you. Here is the best example I can show you. If you get both. If you get a music book that has music notation and tablature, not only can you teach yourself how to read by following the tablature, but you also teach yourself how to read the music a lot faster and accurately when playing the tablature. So in my opinion, just knowing music notation, just knowing tablature, but if you know both, in my opinion, that's the best thing you can do for yourself. Now, if you're already used to tablature and you have no problem with it, thumbs up, go for it, do it, whatever works for you. If you already know music notation, chances are you kind of already know tablature because at some point while you were trying to figure out those notes, you had to figure out where to play it, and you probably made a little notation right under their music note. That's tablature, man. You wrote it out. So use both. Now, I'm going to go get those 2 books right now. And here we go. So here are 2 books that I'm going to give you an example from. Let me show you what's inside. Hopefully the camera will zoom here. So here's an example of what we've got. Just show something. Okay, so here's a piece you actually heard this piece in one of my old videos. It's called Lágrima by Francisco Tarrega. And so here's the book. Okay, music's on top, tab is on the bottom. Now if I zoom in, hopefully the camera will get it, but if I zoom in, you can see that right above the music notes there are numbers. That's for your fingers. So when I need to learn something real quick, real fast, and accurately, this is the go-to book. I use both because it's the quickest and most efficient way. Isn't that what you want? Quickest, most efficient way. We're on a fast track to learning music. Now, when I'm practicing, which I now am doing regularly because of these videos, and I have to make sure I keep my chops up, I turn to this book. An amazing book, by the way. Amazing book. It comes with CDs and everything. My exercises, right? I have to do an exercise. For example, say I was doing this legato exercise right here, okay? Now, in order for me to be able to do that exercise efficiently, I gotta memorize it fast and then practice it over and over and over and over and over. But in order to learn it quick, I gotta be able to read it, internalize it, and then put it into work. And the quickest way I can do that is, look, man, it's got the notes on the top, tabs on the bottom, and then there's fingerings. There's numbers next to each note. Why? So that I can get to my music super quick. So the verdict, if you can, when you're reading music, in my opinion, get music that has both music notation and tablature, because I believe that that is the best way. I don't think that reading just music notation is the best option. I don't think that just reading tablature is the best option, because they all have missing information and they both have pros. And if you work them together, peanut butter and jelly, you got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, man, of music. And it's delicious and it's amazing and you enjoy it. But if you just get peanut butter, if you just get jelly, well, that kind of tastes good by itself. But you know what I mean? Put it together. Guys, that's it, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you kind of got a look into what's better, guitar music, a notation, or tablature. Like I said, in my opinion, I think it's both. I hope you enjoyed this video. Guys, stay safe out there. Right now, there's so much craziness in the world. I wish I could show you videos of how long it took for me to get into a grocery store just to find nothing. Anyway, enjoy these videos and go through the rest of them right now that we're all in quarantine. Take advantage. God bless you guys, and I will see you in a couple days on our next video. Peace out, man.